Okay, so we finally got some Resident Evil news. Requiem was announced just a few days ago, probably at this point. Looks really good, of course, and I've been dying to talk about it. I've talked to my Resident Evil buddies about it. We've got our theories, but now we finally are getting some new information about the game, and I just kind of wanted to talk about some theories that have been, that have been going around online, and a few other things as well too. With IGN got to play it, Maximilian Dude got to play it. I'm going to be sourcing from both of them, so shout out to both of them for being able to play it and providing us with the information that I'm going to cover here as well too. So without further ado, let's get started. Okay, so the first thing that everybody was wanting to talk about is whether this game is going to be first person or is this game going to be third person. The last two Resident Evils, outside of the remakes, because, of course, but the last two traditional Resident Evil 7 and 8 have both been first person. You've both been playing as Ethan, so it would make sense that they've kind of shifted over since they've had the RE engine. Honestly, 7 and 8 were big hits, and those are great games as well too. I do personally prefer a third person game. That's just me. If this game would have been just first person, I would have played it. If it would have been just third person, I would have played it. Does not matter to me, but I do prefer a third person. So the people that played the game today, if you want to take a look here, the answer is both. So there is IGN and Maximilian both also said that you can just go to the pause menu and just toggle it third or first, and it'll immediately switch. You can't do it in game. I know a lot of people that's going to turn them off. I think Skyrim, you can just click a stick, I believe, and go from first to third. So you can change it. It's not as, it's not as fluid as you probably think it might be, but first or third person, we've got both, so that's okay. So if we scroll down a little bit further here, so scrolling down a little bit more, and I'll just kind of read it. The trailer shows Agent Grace Ashcroft as she wakes up upside down on a scary looking examination table, yada yada. That's what we saw in the trailer itself. So at Summer Games Fest, they had everybody in a room, and I think somebody was playing the game from Capcom themselves at first. And then they let everybody else play, because Max said he played it a few times as well too, both in first and third person. But it looks like in the demo you only play as Grace. It's just when she recently got she gets free somehow. We don't know exactly how. Could be Leon, could be Jill, we don't know. But there's no indication from anything that they did today that there's anybody else playable. I'm sure that there is, hopefully, because they even say it here that Grace, she's not hand-to-hand combat great like that or anything. But yeah, so should be another character. I don't know how she gets free, of course, but whatever. So moving on. So of course there's been a few screenshots. This is a screenshot that's from the first day of the trailer. That's no surprise there. What I was thinking here, and I've seen a few comments on this as well too. So if the nuke landed, and if I go back a screenshot or two, if the nuke landed here and wiped out, supposed to be everything that was there. Obviously it didn't do it. There's a lot of buildings that are still standing here. What I'm thinking here is, and I don't know if we're going to go too deep, I don't know, hopefully you explore Raccoon City. That's that's my favorite setting in a Resident Evil game, one of my favorite settings of any game, honestly. But if this building is still standing, the police station, and let's say you're just fighting some zombies up here, or it could be empty, could be here for just historical reasons. If that is still standing and there's enemies here, what's been manifesting under this police station this entire time? Because we're gotta be at least, 15-20 years removed probably, and we'll get into some of the creatures that I'm sure we'll talk about them here in just a moment. But I want to know what's been manifesting under the police station this entire time, because it can't be good. It honestly just cannot be good. But if we keep going through the screenshots here, so this is another screenshot. So I talked about this in the trailer itself. So this, because it shows this and then it goes straight into, Resident Evil 9, yada, yada, yada. I thought this was just a screenshot showing that, hey, we're going back to zombies. And I still think that we are, but I think that this is that creature that is crawling in the hallway, and I'll get to more of that in a minute here, because there is I think there's some more screenshots. I had something else on this earlier, so we'll keep going through the screenshots here. Not really sure what this is. It does give off Resident Evil 7 vibes, even with the door here. So That's the vibe I'm getting. These curtains remind me of Resident Evil 2 in the lobby. I'm sure that's not what this is though. I just want to know, I have so many questions. So I remember, and this was in the background, a lot of people are thinking this was like a baby from Resident Evil 8 or some kind of creature. I don't want to zoom in too much because I don't want to mess the view up that I have set up here. Yeah, it's already starting to. But I think this is just a horse statue. I think everybody's looking too far into it. Pull up the screenshot on your own and look into it. I'm pretty sure it's just a horse. Could be wrong though. So this is the hand on the creature. They did confirm, Max and IGN both confirmed that this creature is like a since Resident Evil 7, since the RE engine, we've got the Tyrant, Mr. X, Nemesis, stalking characters, Lady Dimitrescu from Village, and then Jack from Resident Evil 7. So every Resident Evil that we've had, they kind of all work the same. They were talking about one part of the demo. Obviously, they said that Grace didn't have a gun, so you can't shoot anything. You only have like bottles and like stuff like that, and then like a screwdriver, I think. So I'm thinking that Grace is. I really don't think that she's the main character, guys. I really don't. I think when you're playing as her, it's going to be like you're playing as Sherry or something like that. Like you just have to throw bottles or just escape as much as you can. And they were saying at one point of the demo, you can leave a room and you're trying to get from point A to point B. I don't want to spoil too much. And this thing could be in your way and you can run back into the room kind of like for safety, like it's a save room of some sort. So, but I think this is, and it's almost confirmed that this is our new Stalker character, whatever this thing may be. Could be, people are saying it's a Regis Licker from Outbreak. I haven't played Outbreak in so long. I will be playing it again now that it ties into this game somehow. So I will be playing that soon. But whatever a Regis Licker is, that could be that. I think it's personally, I kind of think it's Lisa Trevor from Resident Evil 1. Never really shows her dying. And she goes from Larkley Mountains down. I mean, it's been so many years. She could find her way down to Raccoon City. If this is where this is, I think it's in a hotel. They're saying the Wrenwood Hotel, which we're going to look into that as well too. I don't know if that's in Raccoon City or I don't know where that's located at. So this thing is going to be horrifying though. I feel like it's going to take Mr. X and just turn and crank it up, to just a little higher notch. This is a great screenshot. This game looks great. The hair physics, they always kill it on the hair. But they were saying she had like a lighter, a screwdriver, and like a bottle or something like that. I mean, I don't know what I'm looking at. I'm sure it'll make a lot of sense later when we're actually playing the game, but no idea what that is. It actually reminds me of the book that Ethan was reading to Rose at the beginning of Village. She's in danger here. Of course, can't be Resident Evil if we're not traversing an entire huge building with looking for keys to doors. So this is a good screenshot. So this is where the creature, the Tyrant, we'll say, whatever it is, came out in the trailer. It came down from here. They were saying in the at the Summer Game Fest gameplay that there's a bunch of these holes and like holes in the wall. This thing can come through any wall and create shortcuts for you, create hiding points. I don't exactly know, but this right here is where that thing can go and can come from, basically. So there's that. And then I think that this is it. And that's horrifying. I think this is the mouth from that screenshot I was talking about earlier on, when I thought it was just it was just saying that zombies were coming back. But I think that this is the thing. I don't know what that thing is. Kind of looks like Lisa Trevor, but I could be completely wrong. And then a great screenshot there as well too. Look at this city, man. It's going to be so good. I really hope that this isn't just a portion of the game. I really hope that it's dominated by going back to Raccoon City, which I assume it's probably not, but I really hope that it is. These graphics are great. It's going to be awesome. It really is. A lot of tight hallways, of course, that should give you Resident Evil 7 vibes as well too. I'm super stoked about it. Another piece of the information as well too, because Max was saying that whenever he was playing, it sounds like we're at the beginning of the game, and that's not the vibe that I got. I don't know if we're going to be doing that sequence and it's maybe like a like a flashback or something like that, but whenever he was playing, and it could be just set up this way for the demo, that whenever it was like super basic stuff, like how to heal, how to do this, how to do that, like super simple mechanics that you should know probably from like the beginning of the game. So I don't know if that means anything or not, but I got to looking at this image again here, and it just screams Resident Evil because there's a chair and a table in the middle of the room. It makes it seem that you're going to be running around this kind of loop-de-looping old big lady, whatever that thing is. So I saw this image a second ago and I wanted to come back and kind of touch on it. That's there for obvious reasons. I guarantee you we loop-de-loop something or someone around this right here and head back out in the same door we came in. I guarantee it. You're going to be running from something here. I wanted to point that out on this screenshot here. One part that I wanted to touch on is when Max said he was playing the Summer Games Fest demo part of it. When he was playing as Grace and he was doing the horror part, it said first person. When he went to change the perspective mode, first person was showing as recommended. And that kind of gets me thinking that if first person is recommended for her, then maybe it'll say third person is recommended later in the game for a more action-oriented character. I think that further speculates that I really think that we're going to be getting Leon or Jill. I mean, they both have ties to the city. I mean, technically Chris does, but he wasn't there in story mode wise, even though he was there as a STARS member. But it really got me thinking. If I feel like we're going to be doing the horror parts of it, with like Sherry scenarios, that almost seems like with Grace, since she's not hand-to-hand combat, she's just, kind of like a nerd, she just ends up in this situation and, she needs somebody to save her. That's where I think our action star comes in. So yeah, that was pretty much everything that I wanted to talk about today. That's about all the information that we have. As some new information starts to roll out, you'll hear more from me. When the demo comes out, we'll definitely be playing that on here. When the game comes out, we'll be playing that, a million times until we know everything about the game. I cannot wait to play it. It looks horrifying. It looks like it's going to be like a combination of 7 from these tight hallways and stuff like that. And I feel like it's going to be a mixture of 4 with Leon. I really do. I really feel like Leon's in it. Yeah, that's pretty much it. Same thing, as always, I'll be back again with another one shortly. As soon as we have an update, we'll cover everything. This is my first time kind of doing a video like this about covering something that wasn't, Mortal Kombat related. So all things Mortal Kombat and Resident Evil, you're definitely in the right place. We'll be back soon with, with something new to, to kind of knock it out and talk about it. And, yeah, that's pretty much it. We'll see you when we see you, and I appreciate you checking out.